Hello and welcome to another week of 20 Years Behind. This week we're doing Nuclear Sound by Ash. This album, I'd never heard anything of it before. This is completely new to me, so there wasn't any nostalgia there for me. We have a special guest today, which is Grace, because she's too clingy today and doesn't want to be left alone. Nuclear Sound by Ash, released on the 5th of October 1998, which is about 20 years ago. Hence the title of the show! This album is the first album I've listened to while doing this, where I would consider myself a pretty big fan of this album after listening to it. As I say, I didn't even know this album before. This is me going in blind, and damn what a good album it is right the way through from beginning to end. They've got really good kind of angsty, crunchy guitar songs, and they have amazing, slower, not acoustic songs, but, you know, ballads, I guess. There's one on there called Aphrodite, and it's such a good song. I could listen to it all day. Well, what can I say? It's the genre for me, although it's not nostalgic with the songs, it's very nostalgic for the genre. This 90s alternative, crunchy sort of, you know, that kind of music, I do love. Has somehow Ash have just passed me by. I've never, up until literally about 2 weeks ago, I heard Burn Baby Burn by them. I had never heard of anything before that, so somehow Ash have just been out of my radar up until very recently, and I'm kind of lost at what to say, because it's going to be an album going forward that's on repeat for me for a while, probably. Things that you wouldn't really hear in the 90s as well, I guess with a lot of, I guess I'm thinking of pop songs more than anything, but strange timings in the songs where, I wouldn't mean anything to anybody, but the first song is in a 7/4 timing, or the equivalent. Things like that, and yet it doesn't sound jarring, it still sounds really good. And you wouldn't even, if you're not into music theory, you may not even notice that when you're listening to it. If you're trying to dance to it, you might think, oh, this is a bit difficult. But otherwise, it's... I forgot the fact that I've got another camera set up as well, I've not been referencing that. But otherwise, it is kind of just really, really engaging for me. I'm trying to think if there's anything negative to say about this album, and I can't think of any bad qualities. Things maybe other people may say, because the guitars are so crunchy, sometimes it's hard to hear the vocals. I quite like that. I prefer, when I listen to a song, the vocals are the last thing I really listen to. You hear how they sing and stuff, but I don't really care about the singing as much as I care about a good guitar riff and kind of good thumpy drum beat and stuff. Bass kind of goes to the background. Sorry, bassists! Yeah, so I'm quite excited now to look at other Ash music, because this has definitely got me intrigued. Overall, marking it out of 10. I can't think of anything they could have done different to make it better. For me, this is a solid 10 out of 10 album, and I will be listening to this quite a lot going forward. I've not gone into the lyrics and stuff. I'm doing this show for fun, I'm not doing it for views, so I don't want to kind of make it into a chore. I'm just listening to it kind of easy going in the car, driving around doing my visits for work and just kind of chilling out listening to the music. Whereas last week it did feel like a chore because I didn't like the album last week, which is why I haven't done a blog for it, because I wasn't enjoying it, and that's the point of me doing this. I don't even know if I will be doing blogs much. I'm enjoying sitting talking to the camera and doing these things. The blogs I enjoy every now and then, but maybe that's not going to be a regular. That's probably all I can say. If you haven't heard this album before, definitely listen to it, especially if you're into rock music, 90s alternative. I'm trying to think if you like the more rocky Beck music, or they remind me very much of Plumtree, but who around here has heard Plumtree other than the hipsters like me, you know? Yeah, if you like Plumtree, if you like the more rocky Beck music, then give it a go. Otherwise, I'll see you next week when I... Also, do you like my goth makeup in honour of October? Is there anything you want to say, Grace? Or you just want to get in my mouth? I don't know that much yet, baby. Anytime today. It's an old iPad, you see, so it's not the quickest. Fuck's sake. I'm on the wrong fucking week after all that. Also out 20 years ago from next week is Bewitched, which I've already done because I did it wrong. Because I'm not professional by any means. See you next week. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. And ciao for now.